director and producer, respectively. How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, you
Super
excited?
excited. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, congrats on the exciting reveal at the Microsoft conference and obviously the amazing news during the UB conference.
Yeah.
So today, to our left, we've got Yannick Banchereau, comm dev on The Division 2, and 3 other devs from the massive development team. They'll be showing a 4-player co-op tackling a control post. And Yannick will be walking us through a little bit into his strategy. But first of all, I wanted to ask you guys, what are we going to see here?
Well, this is, first of all, actually the E3 demo that we're showcasing here at E3.
So
right?
people can play this
Yes,
at the LAC,
yes.
at the Ubisoft.
If you're in LA and you're going to E3, you can play what they're playing right now. So
That's
that's
awesome.
really cool. So this is a tiny little slice of the open world in Washington, D.C. in the Division 2, right? And this is actually, they're on their way towards that same crash site that we saw in the E3.
Right, the
Microsoft brief, yeah.
Yeah, the crash of the Air Force One. Except
Exactly.
right now, it's tackling at a different entry point than what was shown at the Microsoft conference. Am I right?
Exactly, yeah.
And so obviously the big reveal was the setting, Washington D.C., capital city of America. Christian, I want to ask you, what was the reasoning behind that? Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes, absolutely. We were very excited to showcase that yesterday in our reveal and to show more, of course, today. We had multiple options. We investigated multiple options, but for us, Washington D.C. felt like the natural choice for 2 obvious reasons. One, of course, is the seat of power in US, and second, it's also the home of the headquarters of the division.
Right, the HQ of the Division agents,
Absolutely.
right? That's awesome. And I can see there is no more snow nor ice. Can you tell us a little more about really the timeline from the Division to the Division 2?
Yes, absolutely. In Washington, D.C., we are now in the middle of the summer, 7 months after the events in New York City. So the summer, the season, allow us to showcase a vibrant city where nature is now taking over the city.
It's beautiful. Hey, Yannick, can you do just like a pan? Oh, I guess you're in action right now, but just like the pan of the city here. I mean, obviously, it's beautiful in its own way. It's got character. Yannick, why don't you tell us a bit more on how you plan to tackle your playthrough?
Try to spread around actually, so we can have a bit of a tactical approach to things and not just like face tank. So that's we'll see how that plays out.
I think we should pay extra attention to Yannick.
Yes,
Judge him
exactly,
harshly
and
on
just
his
judge
performance.
him.
Don't
no
judge
pressure.
me. I've been judged for my hand wave already earlier. So
Okay, so Matthias and Christian, I played some of the Division. I haven't played hundreds of hours like the thousands of players out there. If there was a few things you could say about the Division 2 that new players should know, what would you say?
The list is long. I mean, we're very excited, both as gamers at the office and as devs, right? Of all the things we refined, tweaked, and tuned from the Division 1. Everything from the combat to refining the RPG and the game and all that. So there's a lot of that, but also a lot of new things. So I think where they are right now, the open world is one of them. It's first of all 20% bigger than the first game, New York. And it's very, very faithfully recreated, almost one-to-one with the actual DC, right?
That's amazing. And sorry to cut you off, but Christian, you mentioned, so you guys chose Washington DC. I'm curious, did the team take any trips there to kind of really get an authentic recreation of Washington DC?
Absolutely, we had multiple trips after we chose this setting, and we met with different architects from the city, with urban explorers, with artists from local artists to make sure that everything, it's looking beautiful in the game.
So people living in Washington DC can kind of walk around and try to find their homes?
Absolutely. Although this is an interpretation of Washington, our interpretation of Washington DC is going to be a bit more, let's say, with more nature into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then also this open world in the Division 2 is very much alive. We put a lot of love, sweat, and effort into creating this living world system where not just the enemy factions of the world spread out in different areas, right? But also the civilians that you're fighting to help and protect. They're all doing things in the open world dynamically.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're acting on needs for resources and goals of what they're trying to achieve, not least to control these key strategic locations like this control point here by the crash site. this creates a lot of movement and
Right.
activity, and ultimately things for you to do as a player and surprise.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going to happen around the next corner. Right?
Absolutely, a lot of gameplay opportunities for the player to kind of pick and choose exactly what it is that they want to do. And so right now they have reached the control point. I take it. How you
Yes.
doing there, Yannick?
That's fine. We are kind of, we all enter from the same area. Actually, we just try to rush into it, and we are pushing our way through. So far, it's fine, but we have the tank coming now. So
Oh well, good luck with that. Matthias, so what faction are they playing against right now?
They're playing against a faction called the True Sons. Nasty people.
Nasty people that
Yeah.
they should get rid of.
Yeah.
and and so I know another big reveal, big new feature that was mentioned during the Ubisoft conference are the specializations. Right. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Specializations is really adds a new extra layer and dimension to endgame, where you've been going on this incredible journey through the game, through the leveling game, the campaign. You've been growing in both power and capability.
Right.
You've been getting new skills, mods for those skills, weapons and gear, etc. When you get to endgame, you're presented with a choice of how do you really truly want to specialize now.
Right.
First choice is the signature weapons that we saw in the conference, right?
Right, and I think it's important to note, I think that these specializations, they're not like roles that a player kind of sticks to. They can
No.
kind of choose to grow which skill tree, am I right?
Absolutely. Each one of them is a progression track in itself. It's not just a signature weapon. And this signature weapon, is important to note, it sits on top of the rest of your toolbox. You're not
Right.
changing something out, you're gaining more things.
Right.
And then, very much along the lines of the design philosophy that we have, you're growing capability. So you can progress one specialization all the way, then the next one, and the next one.
And then you become
get-
the ultimate
exactly.
player.
You get full flexibility to
And you're
adapt.
gonna need to become that because we also announced today that for the first time in a division game we have raids.
Oh, yeah,
which
that's
are
right.
Absolutely incredible challenges. And
That's
if you
a
are not
8-player
prepared for
co-op, is that it?
Absolutely. It's up to 8-player co-op, and you need to be prepared for that. It's gonna be very hard to tackle that challenge.
That is very cool. Yannick, how are we doing here?
like that,
Like
just
that?
blowing stuff up with my grenade launcher.
Have you been
So-
downed yet?
So Yannick, you're playing the demolition specialization, am I right?
Yes,
Can
yes,
you
demolition
show
is
us what's signature weapon you've got equipped there?
Yeah, I got that. I got that nice grenade launcher here, and so I get to make a lot of very nice explosions.
You get to blow shit up.
Yeah, like that.
And our other massive developers here, I believe are playing Survivalist and Sharpshooter, am I right?
That's correct.
I don't know if we can get the player, the audience to see the skill set of the other specialists. I believe that's the Sharpshooter, am I right?
That's correct, yeah. So the demolitionist that Jank is playing has the grenade launcher, which is all about, radius, controlling
Yeah.
an area, creating mayhem,
Yeah.
flushing enemies out of cover, getting several of them in the blast at the same time, etc. Right?
Absolutely.
Whereas the sharpshooter has this super powerful sniper rifle, 50 cal, that can penetrate several targets. So you can find your angles and line them up, and this feature that we have very prevalently in Division 2 on the enemy archetypes, the weak points
Right,
that are
right.
associated with the enemy's special abilities.
Oh, it's
So you
great.
can pop all of those coming in and out of the target.
Looks like Yannick actually
Well,
did it. He
he
captured
did.
the control
You
point.
did it!
Congratulations.
Yay, congrats!
That's surprising, I would have to
That's
say.
It is
awesome.
surprising.
I feel like he didn't do as good during the rehearsals, but I feel like the pressure has caused him to up his game. All right, so if I think we're done taking over this control point now. Yannick, why don't you come join us over here? Let's talk about this.
We did it.
we did it! Yay!
So that was not too ridiculous, but it's okay.
Well, now that you're here, I think we've got a free pod. Well, is there like another player that can that you think can fill?
Yeah, I think you guys want to keep playing, right? You want to play more of it, yes. I see the nod. All right. So yeah, we happen to have a Think Panda just here, who I think would be a great fit
Come
to,
on over, Think
to play
Panda.
the division.
Hey.
Hey, hello.
What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm great.
How was the
Very
conference
excited.
from inside?
It was amazing.
Yeah. Did you like what you saw with the division?
Oh my god. There's so much to look forward to.
Are you excited to play the
Great.
Division 2?
Yes. So excited. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be the first time you play it. So.
Yes. I hope I do well.
I have
see how
faith
it
in
goes.
you. I have
Thank
faith.
you. Thank
All right,
you.
so let's jump right in then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Get to
it.
the
Make us
pod
proud.
and show us
Yay.
what you got.
Thank you.
All right, Yannick, so tell me, how do you think you did?
I think my team did great.
So they did all the work and you just like stood there watching.
They did
That
all
was
the
great.
work, and I was basically just like trying to not look too ridiculous. So that's,
Amazing. Well, Yannick, so as obviously ComDev, you were ComDev on the Division, and now ComDev on the Division 2. You've played hundreds of hours, much more than me, of the Division. So playing the Division 2, what can you tell me about that experience?
What's great with playing the Division 2 is that, as you said, I played a lot of hours of the Division 1 and 600 or 700 hours of that game, which for our
Damn.
community is like okay, yeah, it's not so bad. But still, and playing the Division 2, what I really love is that it really feels like a Division experience. It really feels like I'm playing the Division. I directly know the controls. I directly know how to move around and how to handle it. But it feels very fresh. There are so many changes, so many small things, so many new things, new skills, the signature weapons, even the open spaces, the way to approach combat with like the 360 and everything. It's just it feels like a very completely fresh new experience.
That's awesome. If there was one or two things that you'd say was the most requested in the Division that you could say maybe coming to the Division 2, is there anything you talked about that?
I think specializations is something that like Division players, like experienced Division players, are going to love because it's really directly fulfilling that fantasy of like I really want to go in that kind of role and
Right.
I want to like grow more and more into it, especially in endgame, and so I think this is going to be something that Division players are going to love.
That's awesome. So let's check in with Think Pen over here. I think she may be trying to tackle the control point in a different way. I mean, and it's something that you can do in the Division, right? You
Right.
can kind of really tackle any challenge the way that you want with the play style that suits you.
Right, and it's important to note that what they're playing here, this is not a mission. Right, this is just one of the many open world activities that you encounter when you're out and about exploring the world. And that's another aspect of DC being a fantastic setting for us. That it's like for people who haven't been there, it's a very diverse city
Right.
in terms of its different biomes and districts. We have almost jungle-like nature up around the Potomac, and then these big wide open spaces of the mall really lends themselves to open area combat like we saw, where we can really think about, okay, how are we going to approach this situation?
Right, how to strategize exactly with like your team of
Exactly.
co-op players, or I mean, you can go at it alone if you wanted to, right?
You can play everything in the Division
Yeah,
if you so will.
That's
want.
awesome. I mean, Yannick, I think we've got some questions from the community.
We've got a couple questions. We have XX Inside XX who's asking us, is the DZ coming back?
Absolutely, we're going to have Dark Zone in the Division 2. It's going to be a revised version of the Dark Zone, and it's going to be ready at launch.
Revised as in
Nice.
As in absolutely fantastic.
The best Dark Zone ever. All right. We also have a Session who's asking when does the beta start and how to sign up to it.
What we try to do with the beta is that as long when we get closer to the launch, we want to be very, very prepared. And so closer to March 15, we're gonna be able to give you more details about how when we're gonna start the actual beta plan.
Okay, but you can sign up now.
You can sign up now, right? Exactly. thedivision.com/beta. Register now.
You're such a pro. You're so good.
And so, what kind of presents you guys have at E3 this year? You've got the booth, the Ubisoft booth,
Yeah,
where people can play the
absolutely.
demo that we're
Yes.
showing right now. And I believe ComDevs have some live streams on the Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
Yes, we're going to start our live streams tomorrow. We are going to be streaming for like 2 days, total of like 14 hours of live stream. We're going to be showing more of the demo. We're going to be sitting down with some of you guys, showing people from the team, showing people from the community. We have a lot of things coming.
Amazing. And so you mentioned a closed beta. People can register right now. Where is it that they can register? Is there a website?
I will say that again.
Do
Yes.
your thing.
It's important. Call to action.
thedivision.com/beta. Register now to have a guaranteed play.